Let's go. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. All right. So, wait a minute. We are getting started live. I'm gonna share the link out a little bit. This isn't gonna be a whole real long one. It actually can't. I got some orders to ship out for Doomsday Kingdom, but I did want to talk live. I saw the image for the new Walking Dead cover, issue 175. I saw that image early this morning. However, I did not want to do anything with it yet until... Why is that camera vibrating so much? It might be my dishwasher. I'll shut it down if it is. That's so weird. Anyway, yeah, I saw the image, but I wanted to wait a little bit and talk about this. I'm trying to find a way to pop out the chat, put the chat in the stream. So, work with me here a second. Oh, what did I do? And we'll get it going. Oh, let me see, what are we doing? Slide this way. There we go. There we go. Put that there. Ah, look at that. It's getting there. It's getting there. So I'm going to talk for a few minutes. Yeah! I'm going to talk for a few minutes about my initial thoughts and opinions. At the very end, I do want to take like 10 or 15 minutes and talk to the Doomsday Kingdom fans, because getting a lot of questions, because obviously Doomsday Kingdom, the whole initial idea is, or not the initial idea, one of the bigger ideas is the fact that not everything is apocalyptic. There's a section that's apocalyptic where a majority of people live. It's called Doomsday Kingdom. That's, you know, that's the nickname for it. And there's the section that's doing fine. It's the people that avoided the apocalypse. And a lot of people are asking me now. They're like, Ronnie, what are you doing, bro? Because now in the world of The Walking Dead, look at, if they reach this big community of networks, it's kind of essentially the same thing. But I said, listen, and we'll talk about this at the end. But don't fret. We got, in the comic, in our lifetime, it's going to take us about 7 years, our lifetime, to reach that point in the story. So we're good. We can do some rewrites by that time. But let's bang this out. So if you don't know what's going on, The Walking Dead released a new image for issue 175. It's of the... I wonder if I could just put it on the screen. It's of these stormtrooper looking guys. Maybe I can probably slide this over and show you. Yeah, let's slide this over. It's of these stormtrooper looking guys, and what's neat is if you've ever... Yeah, there we go. I like that. Yeah, look at that. We're moving up in the world, huh? Ronnie's he's learning. I'm getting there. Anyway, these stormtrooper looking guys, it's kind of like a callback to issue 25. Notice how the Walking Dead logo is in the very center. There's 3 main guys on this cover. However, there's 5 in total. That's bugging me now. That something's making that shake like crazy. There's 5 main total on this cover, but in issue 25, and I'll show you issue 25 too in case you haven't seen it, this cover has, and this is when a big change happened, this cover has the Riot Gear guys. There you go. See how the logo's in the center? So 25 was the very first and only time up until now the logo, and I got to point to this, but the logo was in the center, and there's the 3 guys, the 3 main Riot Gear guys. In the story it was Michonne, Rick, and Glenn are the ones who went out and ran into the governor. Now in the story at this point in time, they were just good old-fashioned zombie storytelling. People walking around a zombie apocalypse, surviving, scavenging, grouping together. That was the initial, like, the Night of the Living Dead, an extended version of that, was from issue 1 to around this point in time, 25. Right when they met the governor, that's when things started changing in the world of The Walking Dead, and we started getting big bads. So this is an important thing to remember, because that was such a big change. We had that all up until the New Beginning, where we had All Out War, we have the time skip, and then we meet our new big bad in this New Beginning world, and it's Alpha and the Whisperers. And now that they're defeated and we're moving on, it's as if this new group, the Ohio group, or it might not even be the Ohio group, it might be people near the Ohio group, people dealing with the Ohio group, but there is this bigger group out there, and the cover's called New World Order, 1 of 6. That's the story arcs are usually 6 issues because they combine them in the volumes and stuff. The story arcs bounce around, you know, you might have story arcs that spill over into other ones, but it's no big deal. But anyway, the characters here are called the Commonwealth. I believe that's what it said. So, taken in, we're not doing this. What? You want to show me your? She got more teeth that fell out, and I promise I didn't punch these out.
No, I didn't.
But Daddy is being fussy bunny tonight because you're supposed to be in bed. I don't want to hug you. I hugged you my quota for today. It's past 9 o'clock, 9:30, and my daddy duties are done, bruh. What are you doing? Anyway,
I want to really comment.
So the white suits are really important. Okay, bro. The white suits are really important because they seem like an inside unit that would be guarding, not an outside. Imagine an outside guard or outside police force or something like that having those solid white uniforms, the stormtrooper ones. It's just not practical at all, you know? So I think this is a unit that is possibly the community police force, you know? Say hi, honey, because I want you in bed. We've been doing it past your bedtime for far too long. I want you in bed.
Someone said my name. It's right up there on the top. No! Someone passed it.
I see it. So, and I called this too. I put on Twitter. I was like, I call this. And I never, you guys know, I never, ever, ever go back in old predictions. Maybe once I've done it, and I was like, oh, look at that. But I called this shit because if you look at the story where they went from just hanging on and scavenging and all that, and you build the story up to where they got the communities and they're there, and now time has passed, so much time has passed, you gotta grow the story or destroy it and rebuild. There's only 2 things you can do. Continuing on with the world of The Walking Dead, it's just gonna get stale. You're at Alexandria, you're growing food, you're going out, meeting bad guys, you're fighting for your home. That's the only thing you can do. And you can't pick up these characters and go, because then a lot of readers are going to start going, well, how are they eating? They're not scavenging anymore. You can't find canned food anymore. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you could, but it's going to be way past the expiration date, way past the suggested date. It's not happening, you know? So, and I don't want to read a story that plays around with the realism, and I know the world of The Walking Dead plays around with it. There's zombies and whatever, but it's fun for me and it's enjoyable for me because it's grounded in reality, you know. And if they leave that where it's not grounded in reality anymore, I'm done, you know. So I'm glad they're doing something, growing the story or destroying and rebuilding over. Now, that's not as repetitive as it sounds. Eventually you're going to have to grow it even if you go that route, so that is essentially just waiting for the inevitable, because as time passes people are going to build and grow. So I think this is, and I've seen a few people saying this is not the direction I want them to go, what is this, and whoop-de-whoop, and I think it has a lot to do with the look of the people, the stormtrooper look, the high-tech look. There was some people saying, is that robots? And it's not robots, it is legit people. And some people are, I don't know, I see what they're saying, because the world of The Walking Dead, we're so used to this world that's just crumbled and destroyed and disheveled, you know. But this is, in my opinion, the only direction they could go in a long-telling story. And keep in mind, this doesn't have to be the beginning of the end of the world of The Walking Dead. You still have that world out there. And that, like The Last of Us, I took a lot of inspiration from the world because the idea I had was real similar, where, well, nothing's similar, it's very different atmosphere, but the idea of having communities, but then outside of those communities, it's the wastelands, man. It's the you know, pioneer ruins or whatever. All right, someone's gonna get grounded in a few seconds. No, you gotta go. Okay. Tomorrow's Friday. It's your birthday too, and then you could stay up tomorrow night. We'll do another live stream. But go. Get in bed.
I lost 2 teeth.
Yeah.
One down here. Yesterday this one, and today, and today this one.
All right, go. I don't want to ground you on your birthday. Get going. Get going.
Bye.
Those aren't the saviors. No, they aren't saviors. Are people saying it's the saviors? All right, love you.
Someone said I'm adorable.
I know.
Just
Go to
saying.
bed, though. Love you.
Bye.
Just saying. I'm just saying it's past your bedtime. Just saying. Rick is half android. Yeah, see, they might show up and just let Rick lead because he's one of them anyway. Or he's almost one of them. A lot of people are saying they're getting a Fallout vibe. Now, I played Fallout 4, whatever one it is for the PlayStation, and I only played for like an hour and I quit. There's a lot of potential there, but I just don't have time to continuously play. I found myself playing for an hour, sometimes 2 or 3 hours, and then stopping for like 6 months and being like, by the time I played again, I want to start over, you know? So I just stopped, to be honest. I definitely want to revisit it. I love post-apocalyptic anything, movies, games, and whatnot. So I don't know the similarities as far as Fallout and The Walking Dead. I'm sure it's not going to be, you know, that close. Anyhow, there's a couple other things that I could probably just go on and on about, but let's dive into some of the questions going on here and see what you guys have to say, and I'll probably discuss more of what my thoughts and opinions are on this. I'm pretty sure I covered most of it. I feel like this is definitely a necessary step for the story. This is definitely really cool. A lot of people are saying it's the remnants of the government. That is absolutely possible. Listen, it's definitely possible to be some sort of government, but it's also definitely possible to be an area that was evacuated. Look at Fear the Walking Dead gives us a real good example. There was a place that they set up, like that little camp. Imagine the different camps out there across the United States, specifically, that were successful. There had to have been a handful of them, at least 4 or 5, maybe more, maybe a dozen, all across the United States, that started just like that little walled off zone, and they started building and building and building. Now, this would make for a great discussion later on if the show can actually do something like this, because that's even bigger now, because we're growing the communities. We still have the communities. We got a big cast, and now we have this potentially huge network of communities, you know, because a new world order, the idea for a new world order is to have all the governments under, you know, one authority. There's one form of currency, like one money. There's one ruling body of government and stuff like that. So my thinking was, yeah, this might just be a network of communities. And keep in mind, if they want Rick and them to join, and Rick and them don't want to join, that could cause conflict, and it could be very different than what we think. They could go and you know, enslave those who have decided not to join at the Hilltop, the Alexandria. Look, the Sanctuary, there's problems at the community. There's problems at the Kingdom community between the two leaders and that other guy. There's all these different things going on, but yet again, you can do a clever way to disguise a big bad by having this government group, so to speak. Or the government group can actually be a decent group of people just trying to survive, and there's another big bad out there where this would get into war elements. That's not really a direction I would like them to go, but I was thinking more of sabotaging, more of going and doing recon, have little more intimate personal battles. Once you start getting into the really big battles, you lose the intimacy of the storyline, you know. So I do hope they stay away, even if it's a big what's the word I'm looking for? Even if it's a big war, big battle going on, I do want them to keep this story intimate between those characters. Maybe they're doing side missions or something for every new different thing. Anyhow, throw Q&A in the comment section down below, and that way I can see your question. If you have a question specifically for this chit chat, and again, let me look and see how long I've been chatting away for. We'll probably go for another 15 minutes or so, but unfortunately today, what did I do? We're going to have to keep it limited. Anyway, let's go. Do you think that this is Stephanie's group and they're underground? Underground is a possibility, but I do not believe... no, I'm going to say no. The only reason I say that is because I think this is a big group, and I don't think it's believable to have that big of an underground community without seeming, you know, going past that, getting a little bit silly now, you know? And the only reason I say that is because it's, according to what we know, this just happened. No one was expecting it. There wasn't any preparation for it. They couldn't build it after it happened. And I do know we have some really big bunkers in real life in the United States. But I don't think, unless we're talking this is a big community, but there's only like, you know, 200, 300 people there at the max. Okay, maybe. But I'm thinking in my head, you know, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 different networks of communities, maybe 1,000 or 2,000 survivors. I'm thinking this might be something huge, you know? So it all really depends. If this is an on-point community with only like 200 people, maybe it's an underground bunker. That's possible. I would like a bit of both. Maybe you have a part that is the underground bunker where they started, and then they have the parts of the city where they came up and started building around, you know? Is Kirkman following Civilization's progress? Yeah, I mean, you could say that. You said it's going from hunter-gatherers to complex societies. Yeah, but I think that's the way it's got to go. You know what I mean? They can only be out there scavenging for so long until they got to sit down and plant crops. It's only the only realistic way you can go with the story. Plant crops and make and produce, you know? After that, they're going to start venturing. You know, once they get strong enough and wealthy enough, you know, I say wealthy, but you guys know what I mean. Once they venture out, just like they're doing. And when they venture out, you're going to run into other people who have been a little more successful, some people who have avoided a lot of the problems. Like Rick and his gang have been having these little skirmishes and battles and stuff. There's probably people out there who have dealt with the dead, they've dealt with problems, but they've also built a bigger infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? They've built a bigger community, a bigger network of communities. So the Ohio Community Security is definitely likely. Hey Ronnie, are you going to Walker Stalker Con at Atlanta this month? I am. You know what? I was trying to. There is an offer on the table to go. Just from a buddy of mine, not like you know, them saying, hey, come by and hang out and be a dumbass or nothing. But there is a possible way I can make it. I'm trying to figure out babysitting situations and stuff like that. So we'll see. I would love to go, but it gets tricky. Just joined, but I imagine it'll be an authoritarian type society. Sorry, crime free, but mega strict, if not organized government, military. Yeah, if I ramble a little bit with these, I have this migraine headache. Not a migraine, I'm being a bitch about it, but it's a pretty solid headache that's throbbing. I've had it for half the day, so it's burning my eyes trying to read this. Just joined, but I imagine, yeah, that could be a good guess. I think the government, and they have this heavily protected area, possibly underground. That seems to be a popular prediction. I really hope the storyline is going to be as good as I think it is. I do too. That would be so insane. If Daryl dies in a new season, we're nailing the coffin. Yeah, Tyler, we're probably going to stick with... you could be... I think you're talking to someone else, though. Ronnie, do you think they are there to kill everyone so they can start a new world? Like, they've wiped out a couple of states and now they're where Rick is, like a new government? No, if you want to start out... If you want to start a new world, you wouldn't be wiping them out. If your mission was to wipe them out, it's done deal, you know? A lot of people died. Think about it. Rick and gang have been traveling and traveling. They never run into people. Either they are so unlucky that they only travel, you know, and there's no one around, so other areas aren't as bad, or you can blame it on the writing, kind of, but the world we see is consistently barren, you know? It's consistently lacking survivors. So maybe the survivors were just pulled to different areas. So you got this big community in Ohio, let's say, and then you got another big community over closer to California. They could even find a way to contact. There could be a network like that, maybe. This universe is going to get so weird. I do admit there's a part of me that's kind of like, you know, man, I'm gonna miss the good old Walking Dead. You know, I'm gonna miss the good old zombies, just houses, zombies, traveling, snow, just that environment, that surviving, you know, scavenging. I don't know. There's something about it I'm really gonna miss. I did enjoy a lot of that storyline where it is just scavenging and surviving, getting new areas, and just, I don't know, I like that. That's why I was so excited to get people going out, get groups of people, because now we can have the best of both worlds. We can have Alexandria, stationary community, and then we can have our group that's going out exploring and stuff, you know. All right, when are your comics going to be in stock? They're already in stock, buddy. What we have now is there, and again, we're going to talk about Doomsday Kingdom in the last 5 minutes and go over some updates. So if you want to hang around for that, check it out. Riley Nelson, but yeah, they're in stock right now on DoomsdayKingdom.com. Not bowing down to the New World Government, who they so desperately wanted when shit first broke out. Hey Ronnie, are you going to Walker Stalker Con? Oh no, it's the same damn question. Alright, do you think they're going up with the stereotypical way that this new group is searching for a cure? I hope not. I'm not a fan of cure storylines. How's it going? It's going pretty good. Calling it now, Negan will get together with Princess. Every time people say that, I find it so weird, because Princess seems like a, you know, 18-year-old, 17-year-old maybe when this shit... well, no, it's been a while now. I don't know. She seems real young, but then there's a couple images where I'm like, she seems like a 40-year-old playing around as a younger kid, or just having fun with it. But she looks young, so it throws me off kind of, you know? So I'm thinking, yeah. My first impression was she was real super young, based on how she talked. So when everyone started saying Negan, I was just like, oh, okay. It's weird, but alright. Anyway. If Negan dies, I'm a smack Ronnie. Well, you don't have to worry about that. He's not dying anytime soon. Plus, I smack back. Calling it now. Negan will get the... Oh, I already did that. Search the film Divided. The soldiers are almost the exact same, right down to the bayonets on the guns. Who agrees? I don't know what you're saying. Who agrees for? The Divided. Let's search this real quick, and I'll show you guys what I see. The Divided... Or The Divide. Is that what you call it? The Divide. Alright. The Divide. Let's do some movies. Yeah, movies. Let's do some images. I don't see any... Excuse me. I don't see any images of the soldiers except for this one. For anyone who wants to see. Let's move that over there. Can you see that? This is annoying me here. Yeah, can you see that? Here's a soldier that he's talking about. Right there. It's not letting me do it. Son of a bitch. Never mind, it's not letting me do it. I don't think it looks like that. They have an open mask. They have all white suits. Little patches. Maybe if I see a different image. I see what you're saying. I don't think it looks exactly like it except for the white. If it was a different color, I don't think anyone would make that comparison. But I get what you mean, though. The Divide, they're all white and all that. But the white is something I'm curious about. Let me get the copy. Yeah, the white is something I'm real curious about because I didn't share the damn thing. You wouldn't be out and about with white on you. You know what I mean? You wouldn't be out there scavenging and getting dirty as hell. You just wouldn't do that. So, alright, back to the questions. Q&A. Do you think that the hype for Season 8 went down compared to Season 7? No, I feel like the hype is there. All Out War didn't translate well on TV. Kind of rushed the series for me. I loved it in the comics. No, this is a real short live stream, so compared I'm not going to take any more questions for the show. No offense to none, but no, real quick, I don't think the hype is. I think the hype is different. We had a different type of hype last time. All right. Can I not scroll down? What's going on here? All right. Spin is my favorite character. Wow, I just saw the thumbnail and it had to get in my right mind. I don't think I've even seen armor like that before in the Walking Dead universe. Yeah, we've never had an armor like that in the Walking Dead universe. Do you think all the communities could get destroyed at any time in the future? All the communities? Sure, I think it's possible. I don't think at this time they're going to go that route. Hey, Ronnie, especially think about how repetitive it would be to destroy the hilltop again. The sanctuary was already destroyed and rebuilt. I'm starting to really get mad at what's causing that shaking. Alright, I gotta fix something. The sanctuary was already destroyed and rebuilt. Let's see if that helps. The hilltop now. All of them, if they destroy them all in one shot, or just one of them, like if the kingdom goes down and stays down, that's possible. And Ronnie, do you think Negan could die in issue 200? I think he could. At this time, I don't think he's going to. What if Magna dad is the leaders? That's another thing too. They brought up her dad. It would be a huge, massive coincidence. And again, this is something that you're going to have to suspend your disbelief. But that would be a massive coincidence, you know. All of a sudden, Magna's talking about her dad being a bigot. And then they run into her dad being a leader in a new community. That's rough. You know, it's a hard pill to swallow. Then again, imagine if a lot of people in this area were transferred to this community. If they found a way to evacuate people and Michonne ran into like her kid. I mean, think about the crazy possibilities, because if you're going to have any time for characters to link up, you know, it would be in a stage that had people that evacuated to it or even found it in their travels. I mean, if that's the one, what is the light where the boats, lighthouse, it would be calling everyone in. What's up, honey? Ronnie, I have a feeling the story will be very similar to the Saviors. The Ohio community will be equal to the Hilltop, both oppressed by the Saviors. That's another possibility. New World Order, who will help Rick. Honey, is there something you need?
Showing off the...
I'm not good. When I shut this down, I'm going to stop being Mr. Nice Daddy. Honey, I want you in bed now. I'm going to ground you in front of everybody and whoop you with my nunchucks.
Wait, let me just do something real quick.
Films have been watching the new season of American Horror now. Does this mean Beta definitely dies? Right now, I'm thinking so. If he makes it that far, Spencer is a good possibility. I'm afraid there is a good possibility he won't make it past 174. I see what you guys are talking about. Zachary Kills, Ohio Gruber, same. Hey, I'm going to count to 3 and then I'm grounding you for real, honey. Time is up. 1, 2, 3.
5, 6.
Say goodbye to Juliet, everyone.
I don't have the rest of
Honey.
my money. No joke.
Hold on, guys. I'm going to shut this down. Hold on. Have you been watching the news? Oh, yeah, I already did that. When do you think Rick will die? I don't think he's going to die now or anytime soon. Not at least yet. Especially with this new big community. If anything, it would be crazy if... Imagine if Kirkman was building up to something where... Because think about this. You can't just randomly kill Rick out in the wild. Imagine if Rick didn't want to connect with this community. They could be doing stuff that... Rick doesn't like or agree with, or maybe he just says he doesn't want to connect. Imagine if Rick was taken to this new community as a prisoner or defeated in a little skirmish, you know, and he was found guilty and executed in front of like a public display of execution. So now they could hang him. It could be a firing squad. It could be anything like that. It could be something even more like medieval times, but since they're in the suits, it would probably be either firing squad or hanging. And again, for me, off the top of my head, that seems like an underwhelming way for Rick Grimes to go. But if you build a story around it, it might not be the actual death that is exciting, but the story around it. So then his communities would rise up, you know, and revolt against that. Like his death could lead that revolt. So there's something possible with Rick Grimes' death coming up now, but I don't think right away. I think you need some time. And I do think when Rick Grimes' death comes, I don't think this is something where they're just going to go, oh, you know, he might die coming up. I think it'll be a big deal. I think they will hype it up. They'll hype it up to be something different, but they'll build that hype so as many eyes as possible are on the story, and then at that point in time, that's when they'll kill him, because that's when they got the biggest hype around it. So, we're waiting for that button. Oh, we're waiting for hit that button. Yeah, hit that like button. The shirt, laugh out loud. Yeah, I love that. Does Rick and group travel to Ohio? We got a non-comic book reader, guys. Yes. Well, kinda. One thing I don't like about Fear the Walking Dead is that they keep splitting up the characters. Yeah, I think it's dumb too. I'm gonna pass though. We're gonna keep this one strictly the Walking Dead comic, because we're done in 5 minutes. I'm gonna switch over to Doomsday Kingdom mini update, and then we're gonna shut it down. He's just being a father, guys. We have to wait. Yep, I had to handle business. She made it rain on y'all. When it's not a school night, I don't have a problem. She come out here, throw money all around, and goof off. But when it's a school night, especially since we've both been staying up a lot later than we should. Last night, I think I got like 3 hours of sleep. So I got to put an end to that. Next week, we're going to start buckling up hardcore. Ronnie, what do you think about the princess and her future involvement? I don't care. I want Magna. Give us the princess later. I've been waiting since issue 127, patiently, mind you. Go back and see how much. I haven't thrown a fit or nothing, but now I'm throwing a fit. I don't want the princess. You know, don't want the princess. You can keep her in the story. I want Magna. Do something with Magna. Something other than, oh, look, she's gay. You know, because it's old. We get it. You know? And you could do something. You can have her being gay in every single scene as long as you're building up her story to where she's doing something cool. She's being, like, active in the role. There's something important going on. Just, I want my Magna. When do you think we'll see Beta's face? That's another weird thing. It's got to be scarred, right? Because why else hide it? You know what I mean? The Whisperer's like, unless you're a celebrity, I guess, but he wouldn't be a celebrity for us, so we wouldn't know. And he would have to tell that, like, oh, I hid my face because I'm popular. Or somebody would be like, oh my God, you're that, you know, that movie star, yada, yada, yada. So that's a weird one. Yeah, as far as the princess and her future involvement, she could be from this big community, and maybe she left or got split up. She did say she's been on her own for a year. We don't know her backstory. She could originally be from that community. When do you... Wait, will you hold the live stream to talk about Doomsday Kingdom? Yeah, we'll do a Doomsday Kingdom live stream. I don't know when yet, though. What's the new group name again? It's called Commonwealth. Alright, so last questions in for the new Walking Dead cover. Questions, thoughts, and opinions. And if you're watching this after we are done and it's not live anymore, leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment box, because this might be a cover where we go back and do some fan feedback topic videos. When it's live, YouTube erases the comments. So if you want to put a comment down that's going to last, wait until it's not live anymore. Will Dwight stab Rick in the back? What the hell? So, okay, so goodbye. Yeah, it's still playing out, though. I know what you mean. I'm a little frustrated with that. With so much going on, I don't need Dwight being, pissy with Rick as artificial tension. You know what I mean? Because in comic books, especially when you're splitting a story up, I've noticed this the more and more I'm reading different stories and picking up on the structures, and there's misleads. And those frustrate me. When it's not knowing, like Dwight, not knowing if he was good or bad in a comic at that point in time, that's great, authentic, that's organic tension, suspense, and it's not like this out of nowhere mislead. You know what a out of nowhere mislead is? The cliffhanger where Maggie hangs herself, utterly pointless. And if it wasn't for not having a cliffhanger for that issue, I am almost positive he never would have wrote that in the story. Maggie never would have hung herself, because that cliffhanger goes nowhere. They argue a little bit, and it's gone 2 pages later. And I noticed that with comic books, they do stuff like that. And then sometimes it bleeds into the story where, oh, look at this, we have tension going on in Alexandria. But look, pretend Dwight is okay with it. Where's the tension now? Everything's great, So I feel like, in a way, the writer's room has kind of really helped Kirkman, or helped sharpen his tools, so to speak. But in the same strength, he might be picking up some of their bad habits. And yes, I will stand here, now a published author. I was about to say an unpublished author, but I was like, yeah, bitches. Anyway, I will say that that's a bad habit. Inserting and forcing conflict where it doesn't belong is a bullshit Hollywood bad habit. And I feel like Dwight is one of those misleading conflict things, Anyhow, let's move it along. Magna still likes a dick, though. Maybe. What's your IG down on the Walkers? Ronnie, you said that The Walking Dead is the same no matter how many episodes in a season, but season 1 had a faster pace and was a lot of people's favorites and happened to have 6 episodes. I don't know what you mean. Alright, Ronnie, you've said that The Walking Dead is the same no matter how many episodes in a season, but season 1 had a faster pace and a lot of people's favorite and happened. Yeah, I just don't know what you mean. As far as what I have no idea what you mean. If you want to repost it quick, I'll take a couple more questions and maybe I just don't know what you mean. Listen, there will be better seasons, sure, yeah. I think the season 1 is one of my favorites simply based off of the nostalgia. That's what I fell in love with. That season is the reason I fell in love with the world of The Walking Dead. It wasn't season 2 or 3 or what. It was immediately with that season 1. With every episode, I was like, oh my god, But I'm pretty sure I think I know what you mean when I said it doesn't matter if you write 10 episodes or 16 episodes. And I stand by that simply because we're in 8 seasons now. There's 100 episodes. That's how my brain's seeing it. You have 100 episodes. If you can write 10 episodes, 20, 30, it shouldn't matter how many episodes are in the season. If you're going to write 100 episodes, you have 100 episodes worth of story. I would only have a problem with it if they don't have any more story. Like if I wrote a TV show that was only 2 seasons and I stretched it out to 4 seasons, it's not going to work, So I think that's what I was saying, but I don't mean it like they're automatically all the same. All the seasons are the same. Any possibility Beta will survive long enough to meet the Ohio group? I think there's a possibility. I don't know if that's looking real good, though. All right. No. Watch this, guys. Our first timeout. Yeah. I got him. Aw, Spin banned him. Aw, I wanted to put him in timeout. How long is timeout anyway? I gotta look into that. I said your ass to the corner, bitch. Now it's not. Statistically, the amount of lesbians in The Walking Dead is insane. What kind of suits are those, and did they make them? I don't know what kind of suits they are, but I'm guessing they made them? Done trying to ask questions. Either you skip it or you waste time on TV questions. I'm not putting up with your whine-ass bullshit tonight, bro. Answered a couple TV questions towards the... Wait, what TV questions? I could have sworn I said, let's not do the TV stuff. But listen, if you would have put a question right there where I read, and this does legitimately frustrate me. You'll get so many people crying and whining. Not so many people, I'll be honest. There's only a handful that just get fed up and they're like, fuck this, I'm not putting a... If you want your question read, bro, throw $1 down on the super chat. Throw 50 cents. Can you do that? And it's not even about the 50 cents. I will see it immediately. You know what I'm saying? Throw it down, bro. Get your question out there. I cannot answer everybody's. You cannot expect a YouTuber to answer every single person's question right from the gate. You are going to get skipped once in a while. It happens. You might have bad days and good days. It is what it is. Timeout is 300 seconds. You think PPP could be a... Yeah, see, we're skipping the TV questions, guys. Comic only. They were underground bunker while everything went to shit. See, I don't like that. I don't like an underground bunker where they didn't do anything and they pop up and now they're established. I like an underground bunker where maybe they waited until the initial downfall and then they crept out and they started setting up shit, but they still dealt with shit. I like that. If you like the underground bunker and they just popped up, that's cool. Taste-wise, it's just not the kind of tea I like. Swear he only said like 2 minutes. Yeah, let me check the time. Well, if you want me to stop, I'll stop. I have no problems with that. Yeah, let's move into Doomsday Kingdom. You guys can thank Lucas Lamb. He said live stream's going too long. He wants to shut it down, so give him a thank you. If you have any last-minute ditch questions specifically to the comics, I'm going to scan it quick. Boobs, yeah, everyone likes button boobs, dummy. You think Ohio groups are trap, other people not right, awesome kind of lesbians, yeah. Alright, so no more, whatever. Okay, so anyone who doesn't want to hear about Doomsday Kingdom, I'm done talking about The Walking Dead unless some crazy cool question pops up on the screen. We're going to get into Doomsday Kingdom. The main thing, the initial thing is, I did a few Q&As back in last year, I think. There's a whole playlist for Doomsday Kingdom. And there's a lot I talked about where I gave hints of the story. And yes, that thing is definitely now I'm paying more attention to what The Walking Dead is doing because we have the Doomsday Kingdom. This is the piece of land that is devastated by the apocalypse for years. The downfall of society happens, and then you try to make a life for yourself in the Doomsday Kingdom. And there's a little plot that avoided the apocalypse. Now there's a lot of the finer details. That's the most important thing. That definitely separates it from being like Resident Evil or The Last of Us or The Walking Dead. The details are what really matters. So for some people watching the older ones, thinking about the story and stuff like that, and if it's going to be changed now or tweaked now, there's different variations in outlining it, and I already knew that with the different material coming out for zombie ideas and books and stuff that's been put out there, it's definitely nice to have a few different ideas. So right now, the story's definitely intact, 100%. And like I said, we got a few years in our time that we're ever going to get to it anyway. One thing that I am excited about that, I know the main group or core group of Doomsday Kingdom fans, there's like a dozen or 2 dozen of us that talk like every other day and stuff. The thing we're most excited about is the fact that even though The Walking Dead goes into this direction that I loved, and I have something that's similar but definitely different enough to where it'll be like Star Trek and Star Wars. They're out in space, but 2 totally different things. I don't watch Star Trek, so I'm hoping it's really different. Anyway, the thing that excites me the most is right now in Doomsday Kingdom, we get to go back to the good old-fashioned zombie stuff, like the downfall of society happens a lot slower. It's different in this story. It's a virus first. Zombies don't even come till later. So the excitement of going into that, the scavenging, seeing how it affects society and the world and how it falls, and then immediately after, dealing with, I think that is the creative playground that I keep bringing up here and there. I think that's the thing I'm really excited for. So, everyone who is interested in Doomsday Kingdom and has started it, yeah, it's oh man. Trust me, we got issue 2 and 3 we are trying to get out, and then once we do that, that will open up enough of the story where we can start sitting down and having these talks and going over some things. So we're going to have to get there. And one other thing, we opened up for Doomsday Kingdom, we opened up the website, and we put the restock up on the website. There's limited. There's only 50 signed copies that I have left that I'll sign. And then there's the 20 or so signature series that's still lingering around. We're holding 30 of those for issue 2. We'll release maybe 15 for issue 2, and then 15. And this is issue 1 signature series. We're saving 15 for issue 1, and then when we release issue 3, we're saving 15 for issue 3, because we're probably going to release digital first and then the physical after. So because I didn't want to confuse you on the releasing 2 and 3 at the same time and then saying separate. Now on the website, for some reason, I just thought about this. Maybe let's bring this up. For some reason, Squarespace keeps putting a UK shipping option when it's not supposed to be there. And I looked into it, and the only thing we could do is leave it up or take it down. If we take it down, that means nobody internationally can buy the day and night variant, and that's just not fair. So right now, if you are international or the UK, if you clicked the Royal Mail shipping option, that option is wrong. We will be contacting you. There's a couple people we already reached out to. We're already resolving some things, but that shipping is wrong. If you order right now, if you order restock, it's coming from the United States. The shipping will be expensive, and Squarespace is putting up some kind of like UK only shipping, which is whatever. So it's marked there on everything you buy. Just check the instructions or the description right on the bottom in bold. It's the first thing I put in the thing. It says do not click Royal Mail because it's not going to work. We will be contacting you. But it is no craziness, no, you know, relax. Get in touch with us, doomsdaykingdom@gmail.com. We could definitely, you know, figure some things out. Edit the CSS in Squarespace and remove it. I'll look into that. I'll do that now. I can't. I mean, a pain in the ass. Let's edit the CSS. Yeah, I'll look that up and do that now. Because I Googled it right before it came on, and when I Googled it, it said a lot of people are complaining about that, and Squarespace didn't fix it. And that was from 2014, where people wanted it to be different. Because the website will let us charge the shipping, but it's for the entire website. It's not per product. You know what I mean? So maybe I'll look into that CSS you're talking about. And what I mean by it's either leave it up or take it away is if you're doing it by the whole website, that means that if we take it off, everyone who wants to order the day and night variants are going to have to pay that expensive shipping as well. And that's not fair because that's going to be coming from the UK. We will be able to get the shipping down for that because the artist in the UK will have a stack of the day and night variants. But the only leftover restock, it's in the United States. I will have to ship that out to you. So if you're in the UK, I forget. I think the shipping is like $30 almost internationally, almost everywhere. 30, 31, 32, 33, and then the Canada's like $23.95. And those are the cheapest we can find. Everything's on there. And again, if you have a different carrier idea, go to town on it. I know we went with Transglobal, and it was like, oh, $40 to send a stack of comics to get signed to the UK, and that was cheaper than the $66.50 that the USPS charged. And when it got to the UK, they charged us another $30 in customs. I was like, get the oh man, oh, just pissed me all off. So, all right, any other Walking Dead questions come in? When did you know you wanted to write Doomsday Kingdom or any comic in general? I knew I wanted to write Doomsday Kingdom when I was like 18, younger maybe. I started the origin story in junior high, you know. Zombies and apocalypse, ever since I can remember being a small child, it's probably one of the things in entertainment that I've always been the most excited for, always been the most interested in, always been the most terrified of. Think about it in real life. A solar flare. All the electricity goes out right now. You can't start your cars, your computers, and none of it works later on. It's gone, you know, now. Imagine that. Like, that's scary as shit. And some of it, they did, like, I don't know, those, you know, estimates and stuff. Some of it would take, like, 20 years to fix everything, and it would take, like, 2 years to fix, like, where you're at. It would take 2 years to fix that in your area. Just think about that. And even if that's wrong, think about it anyway. That's terrifying, you know? So anyway, when I thought of making it into a comic is when it got too big for the script. It got too big for, well, it didn't get too big for the novel, but there was no image, there was no visuals. And I had all these characters with some really cool visuals, and I'm like, this sucks. And then I started reviewing the Walking Dead comic, and I didn't even know they were still selling comics. I thought the only comics they were selling, Batman, Spider-Man, like that stuff. So, like I stopped reading comics when I was like 13, you know, or 12, young like that. So it was only till recently I thought, holy shit, it's a story that spans over 200 issue story. You know, it's a long story. In a novel, there's no images. That sucks. But in a screenplay, it's way too big, so I have to trim so much out. With a comic book, you get the images and the long story, and you could do pieces at a time because people support you one issue at a time, you know? So it's great. Do you think you could survive an apocalypse? I would give it my damnedest. I mean, I've been interested in survivalist stuff, so I think I would be pretty good. I think I would be better than the average person, you know, because making fires, making like shit from household appliances, like tips and tricks and surviving, you know, floods and disasters and just anything, you know. I read that just for fun, so I would assume that I would absorb a little bit of knowledge at least. But then again, you could get unlucky, you know. You just walk outside being like, I could do this, and then some little asshole has a gun, shoots you in the back of the head. You're like, well, done. You're Ronnie, I know, right? Love that cover. Stormtroopers incoming. Yeah, Stormtroopers. Can you give us a time frame for the release of issue 2 and 3? Early December, let's say that. Our original goal was October for issue 2, I believe, and then October, November, December, every other month. September. Oh no, I'm sorry. September was you know what I'm talking about. Doomsday Kingdom shipped out September. November, I believe, was issue 2 we were thinking, and then January was issue 3. But we're trying to push back issue 2 a few weeks and move up issue 3 a few weeks. Let's say early December, give or take, we'll put the orders up and start shipping out. Imagine for Christmas time, we'll ship out issue 2 and 3, you know, in a bundle. That way you save shipping. So save your money now, because I get a lot of people saying, oh man, I wish I knew ahead of time, I would have saved the money. We're trying to release 2 and 3 at the same time, so save your money just in case you're interested. Do you think the soldiers shown on the cover are from Europe or somewhere far from the U.S.? I think it's a possibility, but I'm not sure. I think they would be handling their own issues, you know? Is Doomsday Kingdom available on iTunes? No, it's not. It's only available on doomsdaykingdom.com. I'll look into iTunes, though. I never used it in my life. I probably shouldn't admit that, but I've never used it. I'm probably never going to use it, me personally, but I will look into it for other people who use iTunes. Are you ever going to make another dumpster diving vid? I love those. Probably not. Dumpster diving is an interesting topic for me. It still is. A lot of people, they hear that and they have they have no idea what is really out there, and the fact that there's legitimately dumpsters for like restaurants that smell like there's a dead body that shit itself, and then there's dumpsters that smell better than your house, like in the back of the candle store. They don't ever get nasty garbage in them, no, you know, stinking rotting food or this, that, and a third. It's all cardboard and paper and styrofoam, and it's clean. It's not even rusted. A lot of the dumpsters are newer, and the shit they throw out, for example, I got this big box one time, right? And what happened is when the trucks deliver it, if it sounds broken, in the stores, usually the policy is if you open it, then you pay for it. You buy the box. You accept the box. But if you hear it's broken, you give it to the truck company. The truck company writes it up, and then they're insured or whatever. So now this box that sounds broken, now the truck driver's not going to haul that around, so he chucks it in the dumpster. You know what I mean? And then when you come and dumpster dive, I grabbed this big box and I shook it. I'm like, oh, it's broken glass. I took it home just to see what was in it. I think I had so much stuff, I just took it straight home. We had a big dumpster too, so I could just, oh, it's garbage, I'll throw it away. I opened it up, and there was one broken $30 casserole dish. They had these little ones, little stacks of little ones, and then these stacks of the big lasagna casserole dishes. I looked them up. It was like one of the higher end companies, like a brand name, and it went to like an overstock store. $30 a pan. The big pans were like, you know, $49.99 or maybe even $60, some shit like that. And they were the big ones too. One was broke. I think we pulled 8 each of the big ones and the little ones. I took them to the flea market, sold them for like 25 bucks a pop. But that's the bullshit they do. They will, oh look, it's all broke. Or one broke, you know, a little bit broke, and they chuck it. I found a stack of frames, like the college ones where you put all the different images in the, and they were like this big. I got a couple hanging around my house. One was broke. 1 out of like 2 dozen. And those frames in the stores, they're like $10 a piece. Took them to the flea market that weekend. Dumpster diving, I used to pull in $350 a week at the flea markets. You find it in the dumpster, open it up out of boxes. One thing's broke, everything else is fresh. Take that to the flea market, and a couple people are like, oh, people don't know it's from the dumpster. If you're in a flea market, you're buying food and all that by the handfuls, it's from a dumpster. The food you're buying is from stores that it's getting close to the expiration date, and that's what they do. They get rid of this shit, they give it to someone, they sell it to someone for an extreme discount. You're buying food that would be in a dumpster, whether you like it or not. I never dealt with food, though. I'm just saying, if you're buying food there, chances are it's from a dumpster, bro. But anyhow, there's people, if you look it up, there's been a couple people, one chick specifically, if you look her up, she is wealthy beyond belief right now off of just dumpster diving. There's big money in it. Well, I know a lot of people do it, though, so it depends on your area. But, yeah, anyway, I got to rambling. I got to shut this down. Yeah, we're on an hour now. Hey, Ron, do you think Rick's death will be on issue 200? Looks like a big deal. I don't think so at this time. What do you think if they were a neo-Nazi survivalist army? I think, I don't think so. And not only that, you would just have now a bad guy. And a neo-Nazi, it's, well, no, they can't be, bro. Look at the cover. The one guy's black on the cover. Or not black, but he's definitely not neo-Nazi, you know. The two guys, maybe. Unless I looked at it wrong. Yeah, look on the cover. He's not a neo-Nazi. Nope, definitely not. Oh, so what did I screw up? Yeah, I think there's one white guy and then 2 guys who, well, one white guy either has a tan or what, but I don't think that. Did you talk about the new cover yet? Yeah, we're done. We're shutting it down. What did I say his name was? So-and-so said that the stream is too long, so we got to shut it down. When are you going to do the raffle for the extra DK Feeding Post dioramas? $3 per ticket, question mark? I don't know yet. I do not know yet. I don't know if we're going to do a raffle. I can't do it on YouTube. I already looked into that. You're not allowed to do anything like that. So I don't know. And I don't know. I just don't know. I know there's so many people right now that I'm looking into making at least 10 of them, and we'll see what we'll do with 10 of them, because I got so many people who want those, and they're not cheap. I'll tell you that right now. It cost me $15 just for the handcuffs, so it's a tricky one. It is, but if people want them, we'll see what we can do. I'll definitely raffle one off if we make multiples like that. I'll definitely raffle one off, but I can't do it on YouTube. You think there's unaffected areas in the Walking Dead comic, not global scale? That's tricky. I think it's possible, but I don't think Kirkman is going that route. I don't think it's that. I think everyone had some type of issue. You know, hey Ronnie, do you think Rick's dead? No, we're dead. We use rivals. Nope. How can I be sure to get the same signature series number each time new release is out? Listen, we are going to do the registration for issue 2, so you don't have to do anything yet. Once we do issue 2, we will send out to get you signed up for the registration. So you don't have to do anything, and it's simple too. You just personally provide a pic of it, and we'll get you marked down for that one. Again, if you're in the signature series, let's say you got number 7, you want to keep getting number 7, you just send us a pic. We'll set it up for later though, when we do issue number 2 signature series. And do you think this new soldier group will take Negan in before Maggie catches up with him? No, I don't. At this time, I don't think Negan's going to be the one to meet up with the new group before others. Kyle something, F him up. Oh, wait, F'd up. Keep going. Have you read the definition of Commonwealth? I lived in a Commonwealth state. Does that count? Fear confirmed that virus is global. Is it though? All right, hey Ronnie, can you do a tour of all the action figures we see in the back? Yeah, we'll do that. Not now. We'll do that one of these days coming up. Hey, Ronnie, do you think Sophia... Last question, guys, by the way, because... Ronnie, do you think Sophia really doesn't know what Lydia and Carl are doing? Or maybe... No, she knows. She knows. She just doesn't know about the birds and the bees, and I'm a little confused. No, she knows. She knows 100%. She was just saying, I want my friend back. It's simple... I think it's a simple conversation, me personally. I think there's definitely more to it, more you can read into it. There's maybe some more subtlety to it than I'm giving it credit for, but I think it easily or simply just breaks down to she wants her friend. They used to talk. When he first got to the hilltop, well, who was the person he talked to? He sat down, he was ran into Sophia, he was chit-chatting with her, you know, and then he got clocked upside the head. So I think it's just simply that. Ronnie, I love you. Adopt me, please. I can't, brother. I can't. I would if I could. You don't want me to adopt you. Ask Juliet. She's always cussing me out. Nice shirt. The Walking Fans. Actually, I got a few I got to show off. The Walking Fans and T No Evil, man. They hooked it up. It says Negan killed the cameraman. All right, yeah, it says the walkingfans.com. Wait, right there, the walkingfans.com. All right, guys, I'm going to go ship out some orders or get them ready to ship for tomorrow. It's almost 11. I might try to get some sleep and do it in the morning. So we're going to have some orders shipped. Last thing about Doomsday Kingdom, if you do have an order with the pre-order, keep in mind we will be shipping those together, obviously. So anyone with an order with the pre-order in it, you'll get all yours later. Anyone who ordered and you ordered restock, yours ships out in a day or two, you know. So had the signing go. The signing was great. It was a slow day, but I learned a lot about one main thing. I feel like the credentials, because I feel like the same thing I would think. You walk into a store and you don't know this guy. You know, he could just be some asshole selling a comic that's not even that good. So, in my opinion, I'm like, credentials and something showy. They need to see something right away. When they walk in, they see that thing. And even the feeding post, it's a nice little diorama. It's too small for a walk-in because it's just little in the corner. I need a thing, a awesome epic image, just big blown up, something that pops. I need them to see that. But then also I need to make up credentials, like creator of Make Math Presents 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, has the first issue of Doomsday Kingdom sold, you know, this many issues and yada yada yada. So that alone was a really useful experience in my opinion. I didn't know there was a new teaser. Is it too late to order the first edition? No, we have some still available, but I will let you know it's running slim. I think we only have, we only have about 25 left of the first print, and then we have, oh my god, what is it? On the site, I have a stack I was saving for something else, but on the site right now, we have 25 for the first print. You could either do a signing or a poster or 3 posters, and then we still have that under 20 whatever of signature series. So Ronnie put me in timeout before he closes stream. Sure, I could do that. Yeah, I already put someone in timeout before though. Do you think someday we might get Doomsday Kingdom action figures? I know not soon, but eventually I'm going to want some. I think so, sure. I think it's possible. I think the Rider would be, he'd be the first one in my opinion. The Rider, bro. That would be awesome. And it has to be like NECA though. Like, I am a massive McFarlane Toys fan. I think they've done some fantastic stuff. But it has to be, oh, wait, got big enough. Oh, yeah, I see that. Listen, Aaron, I see that. McFarlane would initially be one of my first choices, but if there's no articulation, I can't do it. I can't. Yeah, I can't. It has to have articulation. It could be McFarlane Toys, the old style, but bigger figures like the 7-inch. If I had to pick right now, let's say, Ronnie, you just won the lottery. You get to pick between anyone you want to make, the Rider figure, even a Prisoner, the Guardians, whoever.
The Skullman, I'd pick NECA right now. I just would. The articulation's on point. I think the accessories, the packaging, like everything's just on point right now. I think I think they're just, it is what it is. Anyway, what timeout? I remember you saying, yeah, you just go on a timeout for 30 seconds. The hype train has no brakes. How much time is left in this live stream? I'm ending it now. Literally about to push the button. I keep trying to just ramble a little more and hang out a little more because I want to sit and talk a little bit more. I really do. I really do. But I either need to go to bed. I'm fucking tired. Or I really need to get a few more orders ready to ship. It's weird. I say orders to ship, but I mean do the postage, pick them, pack them, and do the postage, and then wait till the morning and ship them. But I really got to do some of them. Some weird stuff here. Wait, we need a set of NECA 1/4 scale models based on your movie TV series. That would be badass. Robot Chicken has a The Walking Dead TV special. I've seen some of that, yeah. Do you think George W. Bush is a new villain? No, I think that's ridiculous. George Bush being a villain in The Walking Dead. I don't want any presidents we know in The Walking Dead. I already get that bullshit with Southern Bastards. I love Southern Bastards. I love it. But get Trump out of my damn comic book. You read comics, you watch movies, you watch TV shows for an escape. I don't want Trump or Hillary Clinton or anyone else in my fucking TV show or in my movie or in my comic book right now. Whether you're on the winning side or the losing side of this presidential election, just fucking drop it, Go on social media as an artist, actor, director, producer. Go on social media, state of kind of entertainment. Just get out. I hate that so much with a passion. It's a massive pet peeve of mine when people in entertainment force the politics into the. It's so distracting and it's forced. That's what you're doing. What do you think? Wait, well, I really hope this new group are great characters, tough but kind. I hope the cover is misleading. What do you think? Well, listen, the cover can be good or bad. I think the cover is awesome because they have the white suits, the cleanliness, there's some sort of order there. They also have the seriousness, the toughness, the guns. You don't want a silly bastard of a group like, oh, everything's happy and fine protecting you. So I think based off the cover, it's a 50-50. You could get bad characters out of that or good characters out of that. So, Ronnie, could you please send a Patreon message in the future when you're going to do a live stream so Patreon will know when you are going to do any live streams? Thanks. Hey, does Patreon send you a thing? Like a notification? I got to start doing that. I did that with the other one, but I got to do that. Speaking of Patreon, we have the 3 patron live streams coming back to back. I'm trying to do one this weekend, one next week, and one the week after that because everything got so busy. I had to push the $5 Patreon tier back to the end of the month and then push the $10 one into this month. So we're going to have like 1 patron live stream each week this month, starting now. Folks keeping shit to themselves. Do you think Goku? Yeah, I keep hearing about this Goku. I was cracking up. Was that Pokemon or Dragon Ball? I don't know. So you're gonna write every episode. Here's a good question. Chris Rambo, Ronnie, if your comic ever does become a TV show, are you gonna write every episode, every season? Just asking because I don't understand how that works. Great question. That's absolutely out of my control. If, let's say, someone wanted to pick it up, let's say HBO was like, yo, bro, that shit is the bomb. It's out of my control. I'm going to sell the rights to them, but also keep the comic rights, keep the licensing rights to the characters and stuff like that. And again, this is a huge, it's not happening anytime soon. Even if it was a massive success, it would be, The Walking Dead would be over by the time it even got picked up. It would be that far away, like 10 years. So it's not like an ego thing. I'm not like, oh, this is going to happen next year. But to answer your question, they would take the rights. If they wanted me to be involved, they would ask me. If they didn't, they would do it. They would write every episode. They would write everything. Chances are they would probably have me around just to, I don't know, keep an open line of dialogue at the very least, Maybe just call me on the phone or fucking send me an email. Hey, what ideas did you have for this? Because we're doing yada yada yada, you know. So, but I think most likely the idea is to get it in Hollywood. There's this fear of the creators and the writers, especially with screenplays. Read a screenplay book, you'll figure that out. And when they buy screenplays, they're so afraid of the person who wrote it being pissed that you change anything because it's their baby. And I think that fear gets to their head sometimes. I do think it's valid, though. There's a lot of people that are like, that's my baby, don't you dare fuck with it, you know? But that's how that works. When they buy it, they do what they want. They can let you write, and you're not writing it yourself. You have a team. You have the showrunner or showrunners. You can have two of them. They control the whole story, you know, but they control the theme, the flow, the feel, the style. They control it all. However, they don't write every episode. You have a writer's team, usually, between 5 or 8 people, sometimes more, sometimes less. From what I'm hearing, sometimes it's a group you know, sometimes it's freelancers, all different types. But basically, you have the main bosses and then the writers team. One person from that writes each episode, but you have meetings. You guys meet. It's not like a free-for-all. So it's a bigger thing than just sitting down and writing your own comic book. It's really big and really different. How do you feel about more and more order in the communities? I think it could go good or bad. If it's a good story, it's good. If it's bad, it's going to be bad. Will Patreon member get first access at DK, or is that not possible? That's just not possible. Patreon is separate. Patreon is 100% separate from DK. If Patreon wasn't, I would have to take the Patreon money and split it with the artist every month, and then it just wouldn't be fair because there would be more going into it that's map based, and then you would have that little group that we would have to separate, or maybe even it became a big group that was donating for Doomsday. It would be a cluster fuck, you know, because how do you separate the money? Who's here for Doomsday Kingdom? Who's here for map? So Doomsday Kingdom is definitely separated. That's not saying we won't ever do, because we do have giveaways planned. We're trying to just get on our feet. I do have a little stack for giveaways for the future, so we do have stuff planned like that, but it will be map based. Doomsday Kingdom will be it's, you know, off to the side of that. And Ronnie, I wish Kirkman would show us what's going on in the Kingdom, Sanctuary, Oceanside. I really don't care about Oceanside. Sanctuary, no, you know what, I know what you mean. I get it. It's an emotional moment, but I don't care about Kingdom, Sanctuary, or Oceanside. When they're in the story, it's fine, but right now, I want to move forward. I want to discover. That's me personally. Well, since there isn't any people, I like to just say that The Walking Dead is going to shit. I'm glad we got Doomsday Kingdom, and go fuck yourselves. Laugh out loud. I think that was a compliment and an insult all at once. Congratulations. You think it's the Ohio group? How funny is it? Picks James falling down. Yeah, James fell down. The artist of the comic has an image where he's falling on the ground hard as hell. I thought the cover was an issue of Doomsday Kingdom. No. I wonder why Maggie was eavesdropping on Carl and Sophia. I think he was... Yeah, I think it was just the whole missing his friend. He's looking at his friend who, you know, should be free to come and chat with him whenever something's going on. That's a weird one. Ronnie, have you ever read the Bible? Sure. Not all of it. Do you think Germany win the... I have no idea. Chris Rambo, Ronnie, is there even a way around that? Yeah. This is based off the question you just asked. Where do you have full control? Because that sounds fucked up in my opinion. They don't deserve money of your success, but that's just my opinion. It becomes a team, and there's no way around that. Unless you want to buy your own stuff. If you're a multi-billionaire and you want to do your own thing, I'm sure there's a way around it then. But it's such a big process. I would imagine you'd want help. You know, you'd want, you'd want help. So, like me personally, if they came out and was like, and it gets rough. If Doomsday Kingdom was enough for one movie, I would hold on. I'd take it to my grave unless I could direct it. Absolutely, you know. However, it's not. It's too big for that, and I'd be in over my head. Absolutely. And with a TV show, I'd probably also be in over my head. Writer's Room, I feel like I'd be too confident, too cocky. I'm good with it. I'd probably be also in over my head, because then you have deadlines. It's a different audience. You have different structure. There's different this and this and this. It's tricky. It's tricky. What do you think if Fear can do story-wise to grab your attention? Fear can't do anything. I'm done with Fear. I'm done. No mas. No, we'll still be talking about it. I really got to go. I tried to stretch this out as long as I can, and I want to say, like, I want to hang out another half an hour, but I can't. I really can't. Yeah, Fear can focus on his characters first and foremost, and stop being done with the, like, look, we have zombies. Okay, we're done. That's scary enough. No, you need to keep going. You have zombies, but how are they going to attack? Take the weapons off the characters. Like, do something to build it more than just simply you have zombies. You're running out of air. That's it. You know, I don't know. That's what they could do. Yeah, no one can tell if the armor is made before or after the outbreak. It seems like it would be weird if it was after. We haven't seen the community, though, but then again, it could be. It's likely after the outbreak. How many issues do you plan on doing Doomsday Kingdom for? Right now, the plan is 200 single comic issues for Doomsday Kingdom, and it is a complete story. It's not a continuing story. It's not like a never-ending story. I think that is something that is incredibly awesome that I love about The Walking Dead. I think it's a genius idea. However, for Doomsday Kingdom, to hit the one of the main points, it has to end. It absolutely has to end. It is a long story. It is. It really, really is. But it has to end. One of the biggest gut punches is restructuring something that deals with the ending. So, bow out. Yeah, I got to bow out tonight too. Now, hey Ronnie, cool. Important death in the Fear. I don't think we're gonna get any important deaths. All right. I'm going to shut sales for we are going to announce the sales for Doomsday Kingdom issue number 1. We're going to try to get a little, instead of coming out and being like, we want to make it a little professional, I want to look into how the pros do it or what the thing is. I would like to make something out of it. So, and I just haven't had time to look into it and figure something out. And yes, I've seen Kirkman's new comic, Oblivion Song. I think that's neat that I want to look into. Sometimes with too much sci-fi, I start to lose interest a little bit, but I definitely want to check it out. Definitely want to check it out. All right, guys, listen, absolutely 100% thank you for coming out. I only really wanted to do a half an hour, but we hung in there for an hour and 16 minutes. So, yeah, I like it. I feel good about it. So leave your thoughts and opinions down in that comment box about this cover for The Walking Dead. I know we kind of went all over the place a little bit, but bear with me. We will be following this up with more Walking Dead comic videos. So if you're new here, put thoughts and opinions. Damn. Wait, hold on. Now I got to cuss someone out. Just hold on. Let me go down here and cuss this bastard out who gave me a super chat. This guy gave me $10. I'm about to leave. Let me go down here. Kevin, thank you very much. I really appreciate the support. He says, Ronnie, keep up the hard work no matter what. Always look forward to your videos. I really, really, really appreciate that. I just see penis cockass. Look at this. Let's time out. You're going in the corner, bitch. All right, let's end this before he gets out of the corner. Back up to Kevin. Awesome. Thank you very much. Absolutely, really appreciate that. And I'm glad you find the content enjoyable enough to hit it up with some support. I really appreciate that. And everyone else watching, hitting that like button, that's definitely support too. I don't want to make it seem like it's not. And the Patreons, I'm coming for you. You guys are next. We got some new stuff I want to do, new little things I want to insert. I'm hesitant though because Patreon, you get people coming to the live streams, but and I'm contacting more and more of people on Patreon, and more people they're like, here's Patreon money to support the channel. I don't care about rewards. So it gets real tricky. It's like, oh, there's like 10 who care about the rewards, and then there's that other group that don't. So I promise we're going to do something for the people who want rewards. Maybe we can do something cool to get the others interested as well. All right, guys. Seriously, thank you, and have a good night. I'm looking over the fuck here. What is over there? I'm over here. You guys right there. Jesus. Oh, man. Go to sleep, Ronnie. I'm going to bed.